In the many myths and stories of Greek lore and mythology, there are many known heroes, mythological beasts, and other well-known gods, goddesses, and people. There's one group of characters that I believe that many people don't know about or know much about. These characters are the Muses. Goddesses that inspired people. At first there was only 3 depicted, but after the Greek philosopher Hesiod said that they depicted the daughters of Zeus and the Titaness Mnemosyne, the goddess of memory, the number increased to 9. The Muses were first said to be born in Pieria at the foot of Mount Olympus. At this point, they were called the Olympian or Pyrrhian Muses, but after Hesiod, they became known as the Heliconian Muses because this is what they are called in his poem, the Theogony. He calls them this because it is said that he met them at Mount Helicon in Boeotia. Even though the Muses are usually depicted together, they are each different in what they represent. The first muse is Calliope. Calliope is the muse of epic poetry. She is also known as the goddess of eloquence. Calliope names mean beautiful voiced. Calliope is known to be the oldest and the leader of the Muses and to be the most assertive and wise of them. According to Hesiod, she is a leader because she attends on worshipful princes. In other words, she accompanies kings and princes in order to impose justice and serenity. Calliope is known to have 6 sons, 2 with King Oeagrus of Thrace, Orpheus and Linus. There are 4 with Ares, the god of war, Mygdon, Adonis, Piston, and Odomantus. Calliope's emblem is usually shown as a writing tablet due to the fact that she is usually carrying one. She is also known to be the one that gave Homer the inspiration for the Iliad and the Odyssey. She is usually shown wearing a gold crown and carrying laurels in one hand and 2 Homeric poems in the other. The second muse is Clio. Clio is the muse of history. Clio's name means either to make famous or celebrate. Clio's name comes from the Greek word kleos, which means heroic arts. Clio is known for having discovered history and guitar. Clio has 2 sons. Their names are Hyacinth and Imenos. Clio's emblem is a scroll. Clio is usually represented with a clarion in the right arm and a book in the left hand. The third muse is Erato. Erato is a muse of lyric poetry, especially love and erotic poetry. She is also meant to be the protector of weddings. Erato's name means lovely or beloved. Erato's name stems from the Greek word eros, which refers to the feeling of falling in love. Erato is known for having one daughter named Cleophema, with the king Amalia Malos. Erato's symbol is a kithara, which is a type of lyre that she and Apollo invented. Erato is depicted wearing a wreath of myrtle and roses and holding a kithara or golden arrows. Erato is also sometimes depicted being with Cupid or Eros. The fourth muse is Euterpe. Euterpe is the muse of music. This muse is known to entertain the gods on Mount Olympus, but later on she ended up being placed on either Mount Helicon or Mount Parnassus, depending on the story. If the Muses were placed on Mount Helicon, it was because there was a major cult center to the Muses there. If the Muses were placed on Mount Parnassus, it was because it was the place where the Castilian Spring was, which was a major destination for artists and poets. Euterpe's name means the giver of much delight. She inspires many poets, authors, and dramatists. Euterpe has 1 son, Rhesus, with a minor river god named Strymon. Euterpe is also given credit for the invention of several instruments, courses, and dialects. Euterpe's symbol is an aulos. An aulos is an instrument that is similar to a flute. Euterpe is depicted usually playing or holding an aulos with other instruments around her. The fifth muse is Melpomene. Melpomene used to be the muse of singing, but is now the muse of tragedy. Melpomene's name means to celebrate with dance and song. This word is derived from the Greek verb melpo or melpomai. The change came when the Greeks invented theater. Melpomene is the one who invented tragedy, rhetoric, speech, and melos. It was traditional to call on Melpomene for inspiration to create beautiful lyrical phrases. Melpomene fell in love and married a minor river god named Achilleos. They became the parents of the sirens. These sirens are the handmaidens to Persephone. Melpomene's symbol is usually the tragedy mask, but can also be any other symbol of tragedy. Melpomene is depicted wearing a crown of ivy, special tragic actor boots called cothurnus, holding a tragedy mask in one hand, and either a knife or sword in the other. The sixth muse is Polyhymnia. Polyhymnia is the muse of sacred poetry and sacred hymns. Polyhymnia's name means the one of many hymns. Polyhymnia is sometimes also credited with being the muse of geometry and meditation. Many thinkers looked up to Polyhymnia because she herself was given credit of being a deep thinker. Compared to the other muses, Polyhymnia was very serious and conservative. It is also said that she invented the lyre. Polyhymnia had 1 son with King Celeus of Ulysses. His name was Triptolemus. Triptolemus was the first priest of Demeter and the inventor of agriculture. Polyhymnia's symbol is a veil. Polyhymnia is depicted wearing a modest-looking dress and a cloak-like veil. She's also depicted as being very serious in meditation and pensive while holding a finger to her mouth. The seventh muse is Terpsichore. Terpsichore is the muse of dance and dramatic chorus. Terpsichore's name means delight in dancing. She got this name because she was enjoying and having fun dancing. Terpsichore is credited with the creation of the harp and education. Terpsichore is known to have many different children. With the river god Achelous, she had the Sirens and Parthenope. With Apollo, Terpsichore had Linos. Terpsichore's symbol, like Eratos, is a lyre. Terpsichore, unlike Eratos, is not depicted wearing a wreath but still holding a lyre. Terpsichore can also be depicted dancing. The eighth muse is Thalia. Thalia is the muse of comedy and idyllic poetry. Thalia is also said to be the protector of symposiums. Thalia's name means either the joyous or the flourishing. Thalia is said to be the creator of comedy and architectural science. Due to this, she was known to be very lighthearted and funny. She liked to make jokes and pull pranks. Thalia had 9 children with Apollo. These children became known as the Corybantes. The Corybantes are drumming dancers, but instead of drums, they had swords and shields to make their music. The Corybantes worship the goddess Sibyl. Thalia's symbol is a comedic mask. Thalia is portrayed as a young woman with a joyous air wearing a crown of ivy, boots, and carrying a comedic mask in her hand. And in the other hand is either a bugle, trumpet, or shepherd's staff. The ninth muse is Urania. Urania is the muse of astronomy and astronomical writings. Urania's name means heavenly or of heaven. Urania inspired man to look up at the stars and ask why. It is said that Urania could predict the future by using the arrangement of the stars. Urania ended up inheriting Zeus's power and majesty and Demosthenes' beauty and grace. This is why she is associated with universal love. Urania had 3 sons, one with Apollo, one with Hermes, and one with Amphamaros. All of them were named Linos. Urania has 2 symbols. One is a globe and the other is a compass. Urania is usually depicted dressed in a cloak embroidered with stars and with her eyes and attention focused on the heavens and a celestial globe which she is pointing to with a pencil. So these are the 9 muses and what they are famous for. Each muse is different in their own ways due to the fact that they watch over different aspects of society. Now the muses can be more well known and become bigger than they were before.